Throughout the Western world, an Illuminati dynasty made up of a Jewish Khazar bloodline has for generations controlled the destiny of nations and of peoples. Wars, bloodshed, revolution, economic depression, and misery, this powerful bloodline and clan has thrived and prospered on the backs of others. That bloodline, that Jewish dynasty, is the Rothschilds.
In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe.
In this, the 21st century, such men as Lord Jacob Rothschild, his son Nathaniel, Eric Rothschild, David de Rothschild, are the undisputed masters of finance. They operate throughout Europe, in Switzerland, Italy, especially France, and in Great Britain, in the United States, and in Asia, and on the African continent. And their influence extends in the United States to the Midwest metropolis of Chicago, in the state of Illinois, where, incidentally, the zip code is 60606. Yes, in Chicago, the Rothschild combine operates, and it is from this great bustling city of commerce, Chicago, a city riddled with mafia gangsterism, stock and commodity market corruption, political intrigue, and satanic ritualism. But surprisingly, it was not the Al Capones and the Italian or Sicilian mafias that controlled Chicago and rampaged across the United States of America, but the Jewish mafia. Yes, behind the Italians were the Jews. In 1919, a man named Arnold Rothstein, the Jewish fixer, made sure that the 1919 World Series would be an affair to remember. It was the occasion of the infamous Black Sox baseball scandal, in which 8 players of the Chicago White Sox threw the World Series to enrich the gamblers and Mr. Arnold Rothstein. Mr. Rothstein was so honored by his Jewish associates in crime that he was called at one time the King of the Jews. Later came Chicago's Sidney Korshak, a man who was so powerful among the crime organization kingpins that according to recently released documents, we discovered that Korshak was the mob's boss of bosses. It appears that Italian mafiosa, men like Sam Giancana, Roselli, and others worked for him, as did Jewish thugs, men like Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, Mickey Cohen, all bowed before the authority of Chicago's Sidney Korshak. Some say it was Korshak who ordered the hit on President John F. Kennedy in 1963. And this Jewish mafia crime wave continues to this very day in the 21st century, with men such as the kickback conman Tony Rezko in Chicago, ousted Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich with ties to Rahm Emanuel, where a young man, partially black and partially white, was chosen, groomed, trained, promoted, and elevated to the highest government office on planet Earth. His name, Barack Hussein Obama. His destiny, 44th President of the United States of America. But who really is Barack Obama? He came up like a meteor from nowhere, only a short 2 years or less as U.S. Senator from Illinois. What are his origins? Who made him what he is today? Who is Barack Obama? Of course, we've seen all the images in all the magazines, on film, television, newspapers, everywhere we go, the visage, the image, the pictures of Barack Hussein Obama. He is feted, acclaimed, praised, honored, revered everywhere he goes. Newsweek called this ours the age of Obama. He has a lovely wife, we are told, gorgeous children, a perfect family man. Some, of course, say that Barack Obama is arrogant, proud. Many others tear up at the very sight of the man. at the sound of his oratorical voice. They break into tears upon meeting him and being presented with this man, this mystery man, the 44th President of the United States. It is said that he represents all of the people, and that by studying and knowing who Obama is, we will find out who we are now. We know that he's president. We know he had a historic victory. But we also know that the Illuminati, in their Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, Protocol number 10, stated that they would choose our presidents for us, our leaders, that their president would be taken from the mob, from the midst of those, that is, you and I, who they call their puppet creatures, their slaves. Is Barack Obama a president taken from the mob? Is he a puppet? Is he a slave? Are we all? It's interesting that President Bill Clinton, in 1998, during a visit to Israel, said something interesting. He casually mentioned, he said, you know, by the time you become the leader of a country, someone else makes all the decisions. You may find you can get away with virtual presidents, virtual prime ministers, virtual everything. Virtual, of course, means just a cyber creation. Almost like the movie series The Matrix. He appears to be president. He acts as the president. He performs the way we think he should be as president. But someone else is calling all the shots. He, that is the president, is simply the man reading the lines on the teleprompter. Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, we go back to them again. Protocol number 4 said, who and what is in a position to overthrow our invisible force? The plan of action of our force remains for the whole people an unknown mystery. Mystery. Isn't Obama, Barack Obama, President of the United States, still an unknown mystery? Who or what is this invisible force? We're told that Obama best represents the greatest of America. In fact, we should look back to the days of Abraham Lincoln, who in a time of crisis and death and war brought America back together again as a union. Newsweek again had this cover showing Obama's Lincoln and showing Obama channeling the 16th president. David Axelrod, the Jewish campaign manager, that's right, he had a Jewish campaign manager, said to really make headway among the populace, what we must do is figure out a good Lincoln quote. To make a man a popular president, just have him quote from Abraham Lincoln. We see this picture published on the internet. Is it Abraham Lincoln or is it Barack Obama? We see this Lincoln penny, but wait, is it Lincoln or is that Barack Obama's visage? My friends, this is an attempt at alchemy, an alchemical strategy to use not only Abraham Lincoln and make him appear to be the new Obama of the 21st century, but to hearken back even to the New Deal of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 1930s socialist-leaning Great Depression, World War II chief executive. Yes, we're told Obama is the new, even improved 21st century edition of Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Notice this cover of Time magazine. A famous photo of Franklin Roosevelt has him pictured sitting in the front seat of a convertible with a famous cigarette in its holder. Now we have the New Deal of Barack Obama, Lincoln, Roosevelt. But is there more? The elite who chose and now manage and direct Obama. Yes, my friends, he is Rothschild's choice, and we will prove that to you.